It's exactly 5 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean islands of the seas. This is Mr. Abundance. And I have already seen we have Mr. Winston Perry. Welcome, sir, on the call. From Antigua and Barbuda. Thank you very much. Sundays are busy days. And so let me take this time to welcome those who will join us very, very shortly. We always have a short personal development thought. And today I will like to spend a couple seconds on the thought whatever worth doing, whatever is worth doing poorly until you can do it better. Whatever is worth doing poorly until you get better. Now, we're talking about the fourth industrial revolution of things, where cryptocurrency and blockchain technology will basically rule the day. And so we also must differentiate between what is a digital currency and what is cryptocurrency or virtual currency, because a lot of people still do not understand fully. They hear that the government is going digital. Matter of fact, last year Christine Lagarde was saying that the ECCB will poised to be one of the first central bank that will go digital. And so she also told them last year that, is it last year? Yes, early last year. If the governments and central banks do not fall in line with digital and cryptocurrency, and governments as well, that cryptocurrency will render them obsolete, even the government null and void. So when you have countries like Antigua that have now passed cryptocurrency bill, it's not that they had any choice. They don't. They all have to fall in line. You know, one senator, one congressman in the USA, we tried everything to kill it, but we could not. And so here we are in the fourth industrial revolution, where you have artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, blockchain technology, and cryptocurrency that will rule the day. Now, a government digital currency is equally to the fiat that we now have in value. The only difference, you will have it in a digital form on your phone, so that from your phone you can actually transact business by through a QR code. That's it. But the value of a government currency will always remain the value that it is or was in the fiat currency. It will not appreciate like a private public cryptocurrency. And so we must be very distinct and be informed. When the government say they're going digital, that's what it is. Your fiat money, digital. Because money has been evolving from ever since. We did not wake up 20 years ago and found money in a paper stage, and it was 100 years ago. No, money has actually evolved from bartering, to basically, you make your shoes, I make dresses, you make pants, you fishing, you do your agriculture, and you just trade between yourself, but that to become problem, I can see no, because if I don't want to buy no shoes, if you don't want to take my milk, how am I going to get money? So they that created a problem, and they had to use some common things like salt and shell, as use them as basically stored value, things that you can trade. And from there to cow, to cattle, I mean to metal, gold and silver and diamond, and even that was challenging to take around, walk around, of course, and then to paper money. And now we have what, electronics and wire and cashless, your debit and credit card. So money has always been evolving, and so digital currency is just another stage in the evolution of money, and also the different industrial revolution that we have had. So we must always be mindful that we did not have the cellular phone, 20 years ago. We did not have smart TV 20 years ago. We did not have digital anything 20 years ago. And so, everything is evolving, and so in this fourth industrial revolution, where blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, the blue economy will rule the day, we have to understand what it is. And so, as I just mentioned, that the government digital currency is exactly what it is, the government fiat in a digital form. Now, digital crypto or cryptocurrencies or virtual currencies like the Abundance Community Coin, these are coins that will appreciate or depreciate in value. In other words, you can buy an Abundance coin today, which is at 50 cents, and in a year or two, this coin could be at 500, 3,000, 5,000 US. Now, your digital bank currency will not do that. So that is a difference. Once you put the coin on an exchange, it has the potential to increase in value, especially if your coin is well structured, if you have a robust support system like what we're putting in place, if you have proper management system like what we have in place in TAC. And so that is what will give credibility, to the coin. Now, the question is, how did the Abundance Community Coin get here, and where do we go from here? Now, the Abundance Coin basically started last year, November, when the founding members or the pioneers start to prepay for the coin, even before the coin was created. That was the drive and the level of support, knowing that this coin is poised to be really the alternate financial solution. And so in the foundation, we had persons from around the globe, from every continent. We came together because we have decided that we will not pass to the next generation artificial scarcity, poverty, lack, diseases, and debt. This era in the blue economy, it's an era where we can create as much money as you can think of, but there is a procedure in doing it. And so we started out, the company is registered, TAC is registered both in Antigua and in Africa and incorporated. There is a procedure of certifying the coins. And by the way, please ask your questions also. There's no foolish questions. Even Mr. Abundance, the CEO of TAC, is learning. This is a new industry altogether. I mean, cryptocurrency turned the entire financial structure on its head. People, the governments don't know what to do. You see, so they ask the questions. Feel free to ask the questions. You see, and so TAC is on a mission to be certified so that it can move from a coin to actual money. And there is a process of certification, all right? And so we are going through now the second round. We are the second round of sale. We have finished the private sale where the coin was at its cheapest. I mean, you could have gotten coins for less than 2 cents. Between November 4th and January and the 30th of March this year, you could have gotten coins in TAC for less than 2 cents, especially if you would have invested 5,000 US and above. So we have people with 5,000 US investment, they got over 265,000 coins. 8,000, they got over 315,000 coins. And guess what? That 5,000 that they would have purchased, since the coin is now at 50 cents, they have already an appreciated value of 132,000 plus US just by the coin's appreciated value, and we have not gone yet to the market. And so I will show you later what Bitcoin did following the same path 10 years ago. 10 years ago, when it was at 0.003, when nobody was taking it serious, all governments and institutional investors, everybody was running from Bitcoin, running from their future. And I will also show you what happened to some people because of carelessness, you see. But my prayer is that it doesn't happen to any one of you here listening to Mr. Abundance, that you will take some time to invest in self. Take some time to do your own research. Don't take nobody's word for it. You can stay in your bedroom now and become a PhD. The amount of information that is available, it's no excuse anymore to be ignorant. And so we are at a time where you can invest so much and make so much if we know what to do. And so let's talk about our social programs, because the Abundance Community coin must solve problems. For you to create money, one of the procedure is that you must identify a problem. What are you trying to solve? Yes, you want to create this money, but what is it that you're doing that people should rally behind the Abundance coin? And so we have several social programs that we have identified. One of them is the TAC Afro-Caribbean Rollback Malaria Program. And so, as you know, every 30 seconds a child dies in Africa from malaria. So that is one of our programs to see the eradication of malaria in our lifetime. We also have the Afro-Caribbean Musical, Cultural, and Trade Festival, an opportunity to do many things here. One, to give governments and institutional investors an opportunity and an appreciation for what cryptocurrency can do, because TAC will be the major sponsor for these events. And so, and two, it will give us an opportunity to create economic channels, trading from Africa to the Caribbean. As a lot of you know that we import 97 to 98% of what we consume, but nothing comes from the motherland. Everything comes from North America and from Europe, from China, from Asia. And look where Africa is. when the dust rises over the Sahara, within 24, 36 hours, it's in the Caribbean. It then tells me that Africa is not as far as they would want us to believe. And that is why we have to have TAC airlines that go directly across the Atlantic and shipping lines so that we can manufacture goods that are sold and consumed by us. You see? And so we also have our Afro Caribbean Cup of Nations, that is football, where all the islands of Africa and the Caribbean will come together within a Caribbean country to be decided, so that, you know, we can again appreciate who we are with our talents. And all these activities is to give TAC exposure, utility, because everyone who will come into those fields or stadium will have to pay with TAC. So we're giving TAC utility, you see. A part of our vision and our social program also is to retire the Afro-Caribbean debt to China and to the world. Yes, we have allocated 100 million coins to address the Afro-Caribbean debt situation, but it's not a clean slate we're giving the countries to go back and borrow. No, we will hold the debt they will have to pay, but we want to take that debt out of China's hand, because China is just here to take our valuable assets and to create a global fool out of us. We are already the global slave, but the global fool, I don't think so. And so those are our social programs. Now, apart from that, we will have economic programs as well as TAC, you know, go on live, okay, live to the market and begin to accrue in value. So when TAC accrue the value of 4,500, that 100 million coin will actually worth 450 billion. And at the same time, the coins that you have equally will be at 4,500. So looking down the road, your decision now in TAC will determine your spending power tomorrow. And I will show that to you. And all this I am saying, I will back it up with history. What went on before? With a coin without no structure, no owner. Satoshi Nakamoto, some pseudonym. You know, we don't know if it's a company or even a name of a person. No mission, it has a mission. No social programs. No leadership. But here it is today at 500 US for one coin. So we will address that. How did it get there? You know? All right. So the Abundance Community Coin mission is to become the alternate financial solution to reach the unbanked, to settle the debt, the Afro-Caribbean debt, to effect socio-economic, to create socio-economic channels from Africa to the Caribbean. And of course, our vision is to address inequality, to see a united nation of Africa. Because may I say to you, know, anywhere Africa goes, we, the sons and daughters, go with it. You see? And so we have to be very mindful of where we came from, where we are, and where we're going. Because we were people, as it were, without identity. We are the only people that can think further than a meal. You know, we can't plan further than a meal. While others are planning thousands of years to keep us in slavery, we can't seem to plan. We can't seem to rally behind of anything greater than ourselves. You see? And so the reason why we got here in TAC, where you now can be hearing about the abundance coin, we had to bury three things that Dr. Lee allegedly says that contained us, which is greed, selfishness, and ignorance. So we had to bury those three and cultivate and create a progressive vision of the future, a unity of purpose, and the understanding that we need to pool our resources together. And so that is what TAC is all about. The Abundance Community Coin is now at 50 cents. This ends the September 15th. It goes to 75 cents. From 75 cents, it ends in the 31st of December, where it goes public at $1. Anytime between now and December, and we raise the funds, we can skip the third round and go directly to the market. Our concern right now is not about the money to certify the coin, but rather to expand the base so that as many people can have the coin. So when this tide rises this ship, it rises everybody with it. And so, Mr. Abundance, what are you talking about? How can this coin achieve what you're saying? Do you have any evidence? Is there any proof anywhere? Now, I want to show you quickly this chart. The first coin that gave birth in 2009. In 2010, it was at 0.003 of a cent. Now, if you had even purchased $100 US worth of that coin in 2010, that coin, Bitcoin, went 3 years later, 2014, at 750 US, a coin that everybody was running from, but common sense decision made people a billionaire overnight. And so by 2014, Bitcoin was at $7.50. I mean, $750. And so your investment of $100 in 2010 would have given you 33,333 coins. It means then when Bitcoin went to 750, you would have had an appreciated value of monies, US dollars, of $24,999,750 by just a mere investment of $100 in an unknown coin. By 2017, Bitcoin reached to 20 US per coin. And as I said, no, don't take my word for it. No, go and do your research. Type in Bitcoin. What was the value in 2010, 2011, 12, 13, 14? Go right up. You will see everything I am saying to you, you can verify. And so in 2017, Bitcoin rose to 20,000 a coin. It meant then that $100 that you would have invested, which would have given you 33,333 coins, you would have had in your wallet of spendable money 660,660,000 US dollars by a sheer investment of $100. Today, Bitcoin drop is now hovering between 9,000, 9,500 as I speak. So you can now type into your phone, what is the price of Bitcoin today in US dollars? And you can tell me. You can tell me, type it here. Tell me, Mr. Abundance, the price of Bitcoin is this. Look in your phone so that as you listen, you will realize the seriousness and what cryptocurrency can do for the ordinary man. And so today, if you had that investment of $100, you would have had 313 million US dollars, 330,200. You know, we have a billionaire with us here by the name of Calvinaire. Now, what would Calvinaire have to do to become a Bitcoin billionaire today? May I say to you, the only thing he would have had to do is to invest $500 in Bitcoin in 2010. Period. $500. By 2017, Calvin Klein would have worth 3,333,320,000 US dollars by a mere investment of 500 US. Today, because again the coin drops, he would have been at 1,566,660,400 US dollars. That is what Bitcoin cryptocurrency can do. So here we have the projection of the Abundance Community Coin. We're saying that by this year, going to the market, that coin should be at $1. So let's use an illustration of somebody who would have bought $500 in our foundation. That person would have gotten the coin for 11 cents, and they would have gotten 4,500 coins. Now, move on to this year where it goes to $1. It no longer 500, but you now have 4,500. You tell me which bank you can put 500 US in a matter of months, accumulate to 4,500. And we're saying because of our leadership structure, and because we will have our radio and our television program, and because of our social programs, we expect governments around the world to adopt and to accept TAC as their foreign digital currency by 2021 next year. TAC should be at $500. And so with that investment of 500, that would have given you 4,500 coins, your appreciated spendable value should be at 1,350,000 US dollars with a mere investment of 500 or having 4,500 coins. Now, we're also saying that it will not happen by itself. It's not a magic wand that you just buy the coin, you sit back and say, oh, my coin is going to accumulate a fact. No, all of us have a responsibility. This is not an overnight get rich quick scheme. That's why I took time to go over our social programs and our mission. This is a sacred mission that we're on. And in effecting this mission, this historical mission of canceling artificial scarcity, lack, poverty, and diseases that were designed for us. That is what now we're canceling. A lot of you have worked all your life and you still is not financially sound. Some of you are embarrassed by your bank account versus your qualification, degrees running off of your business card. And so we're saying by 2023, tax should be at 5,500. It meant that 500 investment now yield an appreciated spendable value of 24,750,000. By 2025, tax should be at 9,000 per coin. It means that your appreciated value is now over 40 million US dollars. We're talking about in 4 years. And what I am saying to you, yes, it can go under and it can also go above. It can double and triple in price. But how, Mr. Abundance, can TAC goes to 20,000 in 2 years, in less than 2 years, in 3 years? How is that possible? Very simple. We have a strategy in TAC. As you join and invest in TAC, you bring 10% with you within 20 days, investing at least a minimum of 10 US. If everybody does that, right now we have a little over 5,000 going to 6,000 members in TAC. And I'm saying to you, if you take a little time, knowing you have been working for people, give them the best of your years with little or nothing to show, is it too hard to get 10%? Take time to tell them what we're doing. Show them the mission and the vision and what we as a community globally are doing. And I will take time to show you our website and our team, so you have an appreciation that this is not a one-man thing. And so if all of us become meaningful, how long you think it will take you to get 10%? Knowing that by the end of the year, if we do it, this coin could be 100,000 US. I'm asking you the question now, because that's what it is. If we all do that by the end of this year, we will have over 10 million people in TAC, spending TAC, trading TAC, governments allowing the citizens to buy and to get paid in TAC. This coin could be over 100,000, but it will not happen with us sitting down. And so all these forecasts have conditions. Like every blessing, it has curses and it has blessings. There's no different with cryptocurrency. And so while I'm sharing my screen, let me let me take some time to show you that we are a global community. And so don't feel that this is a under the bed in a backroom door organization. And so we have our CEO here. I think I know him, Bishop McKinney. He's our Chief Financial Officer. He's out of Nigeria. Our global ambassador, also from Nigeria. He's responsible for the entire global work within TAC. We have Mr. Meto Kenston. He's a financial analyst. He's from Cameroon. He's also a national executive coordinator. We have Madame Ntibanyara Buoro Kim Kalimba Maria Clara Helena. She's from the Democratic Republic of Congo, our brand ambassador. Mr. Francis, our director of marketing and business development. He's from the Bahamas. He's also our national executive coordinator there. Joan Achu, our director of human resources, also head of operations in Nigeria. Our barrister at law, our legal expert, Dr. David Newton from the US. He's our director of health and corporate planning. Miss TJ Brooks, our TAC European ambassador. Dr. Newton Isa, our corporate director of strategic partnership, corporate investment, branding, diplomatic affairs. Ariel Greatness, director of training, implementation, mobilization, and youth affairs. We have Leandro Hammond, corporate director of social services, philanthropy, women affairs. And we have, she's in the US, Lisika George, she's from South Africa, corporate director of events, design, culture, sports, food, security, urban, rural development. Mr. Samuel Adijakum, director of unification and central and unification, ancestral traditions, and Pan-African affairs. We also have our regional and country managers. So every country that we're in, I think we still have half of them is not mentioned here. is not here. We have Bishop, he was mentioned before. He's also the regional executive for West Africa. So all the West African country is under the Bishop. We have Mr. Manjo and for Dudeni. He's our national executive coordinator for France, and he also responsible for all the French countries. Mr. Anthony, he's our leader there in Trinidad. Mr. Bill Alex in Kenya. Mr. Caxton, he's the assistant there director in Kenya. We have Pastor Wori, he's representing Uganda as the head of operation. Engineer Bernard, the head of operation for Burundi. Mrs. Hayang Vani, she's the operations director over there for South Korea, and the assistant to Mr. Anthony in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Dominique. We also have Madam Cynthia, assistant to Francis Taylor in the Bahamas. We have Mpam Bingwi Ki Young, he's our national executive coordinator for Rwanda. Our assistant here for Burundi, Mr. Felix Victoria, our assistant for Zimbabwe. Mrs. and Nosi and Kiki Esther, she's our national coordinator for Mozambique. Mr. Joel Carr, our assistant national executive coordinator for Antigua and Barbuda. So you have Michael and Gekwi, assistant for France. We have Mamantou Idi, Regina Mosala, our Lesotho executive national coordinator there. We also have Pascal, who's the assistant to the Rwanda executives, Samson Luka, our national executive over there in Papua New Guinea, Dr. Boyo Jean Mary, our assistant in Gabon, Mr. Nkwa Mpango Asen Stefan, our Gabon national executive coordinator, Pendapala Nakanthingo, he was on the radio with us the other day, our assistant national executive coordinator for Namibia, Bishop Alexander Freeman for Liberia. I call Meto and Madame Banyara already, Francis Taylor, Joan, all of these, some of them have dual role. Okay, Mara, our executive leader over there for the US, lady, First Lady Judy Griffith, our assistant national executive for the United Kingdom. We have another assistant here, Madam Lindy Cree and Zuza for South Africa, Mr. Gale, Michael Gale, aka Prosperous Prince, the national executive for the United Kingdom, Ado Kodzo, Zifa, Apeli, Freddy, our national executive coordinator for Togo, and his assistant here, Adio Kozi. So please, and we have our advisors, of course, Professor Prince Godwin. We have Mr. Aloysius Goodman. So please take time to go through our website. Also, once you're on our website, you will notice our white paper here. Take time to view our white paper. This is the round. We're counting down. This is the second round. We have 50 days to go before the coins move from 50 cents to 75 cents. All right? We have no time to waste. We're trying to raise 2.5 million to certify the coin. All monies invested are held in an escrow account. No money come to Mr. Abundance pocket. We do things very transparent. This is not an ICO. This is an IEO. There's a difference between an ICO and an IEO. All right. So what we're doing, we are on an exchange already, and all funds go through the exchange. All right. So I think I am good now. We spent quite a few time. I didn't expect all this time. Oh my goodness, Mr. Abundance. All right, Eric Finman story. Okay, so quick. So let's now go to this young man that his teacher asked him to drop out of school because he was a dunce. Basically, we will say a dunce in the Caribbean. But at least at the age of 15, he had enough common sense, no technical sense, to defy governments, politicians, financial institution to defy everyone. A dunce at the age of 12 invests $1,000. He now sits in America as one of Bitcoin youngest millionaires. Where did he work? Who hired him? How long did he stay on the job? And what is his status today? Those are the 4 questions I always ask the Tiashin. All what he did was to make a common sense financial decision, and that is going to be the difference of the haves and the haves not going forward. Listen to a Don Story, who is now a millionaire in the cryptocurrency space. Look at him. Look at this one. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase. These are the people that had a field day with Bitcoin. They call it fake and speculative and only a means to do nefarious things. These are the people today. This same man is behind doors with big exchanges negotiating to connect JP Morgan with cryptocurrency today. These are the people that cause you to remain poor because they control the media. They control the media. And some of you had the opportunity to buy, but your parents told you, no, don't get involved. Your wife told you no. Your husband, just like today, some of them might even be telling you, after 8 years, a teenager, adults had enough common sense. And you will you will now go and listen to uninformed people about cryptocurrency when you supposed to be telling them. Adults at the age of 12, 8 years ago, made this a decision that you're still scratching your head to make. Story. The thing is, at the age of 15, he dropped out of school as recommended by his teacher. But the irony of that dropout is that he was able to hire 20 of them, of the same teacher. Now here we have Hanyo Glasgow out of Jacksonville. He bought Bitcoin, but he did not take the time to be a meaningful specific. He had his future in his hand and he sold it for a bowl of soup because he did not take the time. Just like many of us today will listen to this, but you will not take the time to be meaningful, to at least go and do your research and understand what it is. You know, a couple days I said, cryptocurrency is foolishness to the job seekers and those who seek pensions. Cryptocurrency is foolishness to the job seekers and those who seek pension. Listen to what carelessness do to this one who sold his gave away 10,000 Bitcoin. In 2010, those Bitcoin worth $40 at the time for 2 boxes of pizzas. At the time of his interview, those Bitcoin worth over 100 million. Let's see what Kaylee said. Don't listen to what I have to say. Listen to him.
Money makes the world go around, but we could be moving towards a world without cash. From credit cards to Apple Pay and cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, cash is no longer king. When I say Bitcoin, you say what? Pizza? This is Laszlo Hanya of Jacksonville, and it was a pizza delivery order 9 years ago that began the cryptocurrency craze.
I just told people I wanted a pizza and I want to pay with Bitcoin. I didn't want a gift card. I didn't want some weird exchange. I want to give you Bitcoin and you give me pizza.
The 37-year-old computer programmer created this thread in an online forum and posted that he would pay someone 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. A user from England took him up on the offer, and these pizzas were delivered to Hanyat's home. At the time, the 10,000 Bitcoins were worth about $40. Today, they will be worth $100 million.
people ask me, "Oh man, what an idiot! Why don't you keep that Bitcoin?" And it's like, well, somebody had to start it off.
The pizza was purchased at this Papa John's on Atlantic Boulevard. There's even a plaque on the wall with the date May 22nd, 2010, and a proclamation that Jacksonville is the home of the first Bitcoin purchase.
All right. So when you have time, go on the website, I said no, and do your research. Don't let Mr. Abundance do your research for you. Here is another one in London that did not know what he had. He now dumped over 7,000 Bitcoin, 700, 500 Bitcoin. Listen to what carelessness.
All the files that I believed I needed were already on my new computer. The drive was in a drawer on its own after an incident with a previous laptop, and I thought that I'd taken off everything I needed.
Any hesitation, any moments before you chucked it in with the boxes and the bottles to bring down?
As soon as I put it in the bin at home, I had a second thought, in the back of my mind. You've never thrown a hard drive out before. Why start now? You shouldn't do this, sort of thing. A little demon in the back of my head, sort of thing. But yeah, I didn't take it out. It stayed in the bin, and then came down to the landfill site here with the other bags that I brought.
You brought the bags down, you threw them in there, didn't think twice before driving off. When did the penny drop that actually what you'd thrown away was worth a fortune?
When I started to hear stories of the Silk Road shut down, and obviously other individuals making their profits and their millions, the penny dropped then, that I had 7,500 Bitcoins on a hard drive that I'd thrown out a few months ago.
So for people who don't understand virtual currencies, they wouldn't have thought it's a problem throwing away a hard drive. But to get your money, you would need that hard drive.
Yeah, there's a specific file on that hard drive called a wallet file, which the Bitcoin is stored in. And without that file, there is no way of getting the money back, because there is no central server that records a log of it.
You've spoken to the manager here. They've been very nice to you. They've driven you around, but they've warned you there's absolutely zero chance of finding it.
Basically, yeah.
All right. So this is his story. After carelessness, bought the Bitcoins, but never took time again to be meaningful. And so those Bitcoins today, that 7,500 Bitcoins would have worth over $71.2 million today. And that is now, he's now going into the garbage, looking for carelessness. And so a lot of us may not bought, but we will ended up having stories like this to come, because we had an opportunity. Now tax is at 50 cents. What will you tell your children when you look back 10 years from now and did not even anyhow? So I've already gone through all that. All right, so let me take your comments and everything now. Good afternoon from Antigua. Yes, Winston Berry, I know you were there. I saw you were the first runner-up. Okay, our senior national executive coordinator, Diana McDonald, really going uphill with TAC. I'm telling you, I told her the other day, Madam McDonald, going uphill, one has to choose whether they want their conviction or their convenience, because there is no way both of them can coexist. So sometimes I'm really sorry for her, but it is a good disruption, because if you do what you have been doing for the past 5, 10, 30 years, no matter how often you do it, you will always get the same results. And so if you're doing something different, you should expect also a different result. Because that's what Einstein said. No? Einstein says, if you do the same and you expect to get a different result, that is That is insanity. Insanity of his highest order. Welcome there, our global ambassador. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, and to the entire community of Tiashan watching from Nigeria. TAC is going uphill. Thank you very much. Okano Badley. Good afternoon, Okano from Antigua. You know, Okano, you have to put Antigua and Barbuda, eh? Joel Carr, our able assistant. Welcome all. You are in the right place at the right time. Thank you very much. Mr. Ukresh O'Brien. Charleston Luby. Hello, I am Charleston Luby from Antigua. Thank you very much, Mr. Charleston Luby. Luby. Ukresh O'Brien. Good afternoon from Antigua. Thank you very much. Omari King. Yes, Omari in the house. I know you are an investor. I know that you are a bona fide investor, sir. Minister Tariq Thomas, Harsford. Good day. I'm Tariq from Antigua. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome. Madam Cynthia from the Bahamas. Welcome. Hello from Antigua. Here to learn more. Marilyn Thomas. Welcome. I hope I shed some light. Ukresh, can you please explain again the following process of the coin? The process to certify the coin, I believe. All right. So, I mean, a lot of the coin are not registered anywhere, not incorporated anywhere. I can say that. But TAC is. We are registered and incorporated in Antigua in Africa. And there is a procedure where the coin has to go through to get certified. And so we had first our private sales that ended March 30th. We went public where the coin was at 25 cents. That ended in June 14th of this year. Now we're in our second round where the coin is now at 50 cents, which will end in September 15th. Also equally, September 15th, the coin goes to 75 cents. By December 31st, that completes the third round, and we should have already raised the 2.5 million so we can go straight to the market, to the public. So that is the process of certification. Okay, good evening once again, Mr. Abundance. Thank you for the love you have for the TAC community. TAC is going uphill. Stephen, and you're from Ghana. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Can you please explain the foreign process of the coin registered, incorporated? Okay, I think I did that already. How will I cash my coin when it being certified? That question was asked yesterday. When the coin is certified, the coin is only at $1. And so we should not have in our mind how we can cash out a coin at $1. You know, when a coin has the potential to move from $1 to 5 to 10 to 20 to 1,000 to 5,000 to 25,000 to 50,000. And so your question should have been basically, but that is a question on a lot of mine, because, you know, we have a tendency not to think too long for long term. We are short-term thinkers, you see. And so that question should be, you know, how can I, or what can we do as a community to ensure that TAC appreciate to its max so that it can really transform people's lives? You know, I mean, if you have 100 TAC, you bought them for $50. Now they're at $100. Would you cash out your TAC at $100? What is $100? How long will $100 or even 5 TAC? Why would you cash out 5 TAC when 5 TAC can be 4,000 in a couple of years or in a couple of months? You know, so the whole idea is, and that is why we have our radio and our television to constantly advise people that it's not a get-rich-quick thing. You know, allow yourself to breathe, allow yourself to transform, to have transformational wealth where you can pass down to your children's children. Help us to cancel this artificial scarcity, lack, and diseases. You see what I'm saying? There will be a time when it is comfortable for you to cash out. Right now, Bitcoin, I'm cashing out sometimes because the coin is now at 9,005. So I can take a $500 here, $1,000 there, because it appreciates in value. Bitcoin went down last year to 3,000 a coin. Now is nearly up to 10,000. So you have a little thing you can pinch off, not much, because Bitcoin is poised to go at 50,000 soon. And so you don't want to take out all. So when it's at 50,000, you have nothing. And so that is why we are here to enlighten how we have to change our mindset if we are to have transformational wealth to us and to our children. But I thank you for your question, because many, even before they even invest, they want to know when they can cash out. And they have not invested yet. But the first thing, when can I cash out? Good afternoon, Anthony from Antigua. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, Mr. Abundant. Appreciating you always for your commitment to the sacred mission. We welcome everyone aboard watching from Nigeria. Thank you very much, dear Pastor. Mac Robert, Kiwi C. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the community. I'm from Ghana. Thank you very much. We need straight flights from the Caribbean to Africa without having to go to the US and Europe. Mr. Winston, you can say that again. The last time I went to Africa, well, I had to go to Santo Domingo first. So I went from here to St. Martin, to Santo Domingo, to New York, to New Jersey. From New Jersey, from New Jersey, I went to Belgium, and from Belgium to Cameroon. On my way back from Cameroon, I went to Equatorial Guinea, Ethiopia, London, and then Antigua. Huh. And my understanding is, sir, that from the Caribbean to Africa is between 3.5 to 5 hours. They don't want us to know, but we will cancel that. Can you please explain how an escrow makes our money safe so that we know that we can have it back? An escrow account is like an account that you would have created with a bank. And let's say that I want to buy some gold. I want to buy some gold from South Africa. And so I don't know the dealers in South Africa too well. So I have my money, they have their gold. And we now have a third trusted party, which is a bank. So we engage in the bank, and so we gave the bank instructions. You're receiving my money, and you will also receive the gold. And so when you receive the gold, then you can release the money. So that is what an escrow. And so if they don't show up with the gold, then you get your money back. Equally, if you don't put the coin on the market, you get your money back. That's what it is. That's what an escrow is, my dear brother. So I thank you for your question. Good evening, my boss. I'm Isaac Awatwi from Ghana. TAC is going uphill. I want to thank you very much for watching. Uquesh, if person will have to use TAC to gain entrance into the program's plan and to spend, should it be broadcast as a regular advertisement on both radio and television? And of course, everybody will know. Everybody will know about TAC. Everybody will know. And of course, we have a radio and television. It would mean that there must be a dialogue with all the Caribbean countries to facilitate to enter. Well, that's what we're now doing. And so if you know anyone in Dominica, in St. Kitts, Nevis, in Anguilla, in Jamaica, we're looking for leaders, because we already have a couple Caribbean countries under our belt. We have Trinidad and Tobago. We have an assistant in the Virgin Islands. We have our director there in the Bahamas. We have Antigua and Barbuda. St. Lucia just came on. We're looking to bring on St. Vincent and also St. Kitts. And so it is a global mission, just like almost all the major countries in Africa has already have their leaders. We're now taking down Europe. A matter of fact, I've just engaged a very prominent person out of the UK that has deep ties throughout Africa, that have many businesses in Africa, and they are so excited to join us so that we can get the TAC to the grassroots. So there is a strategy. And even though they don't know, they will know. Because anybody here, Afro-Caribbean Cup of Nations, what next follows? The Abundance Community Coin. That is it. So it's an opportunity. Thank you very much. What happens if government refuses to accept TAC as a currency to be used to gain entrance into the event, and instead their currency? Well, the government will not have any control. It's a private function. It's a private function now. And so charge me for the use of the facility, that's all. But I don't see that happening, because even the government are going digital, and will be a force to reckon with. That is why it is all about numbers. They tried it with Bitcoin now. They tried it with Bitcoin and they failed. They will also fail miserably with TAC if they try it. At least you have a face as to who is managing TAC, but who is managing Bitcoin? Nobody knows. But they might try. But that is why our social programs are there to work along with government. You know, we're taking the advice of Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller says, never try to fight to change the existent reality. If you want to change the existent reality, create a new model. And so TAC is not fighting. And he also says, do not fight any power, use them. So we're not here to fight anybody. We're here to work along. That is why our TAC Afro rollback malaria. Every country in Africa can testify about malaria. The Afro-Caribbean musical, culture, and trade. We're talking about open up business, creating business, manufacturing business in Africa. We're not here to fight anyone, my dear brother. We're too smart for that. Hi, Lena from St. Lucia. Lena, thank you. Philip, that sounds like an Antiguan last name. Elizabeth, hi, good day. Yes. Elizabeth, she's also from St. Lucia. St. Lucia is in the house. Whoa. What is the meaning? What is meaningful specific? You take the spotlight today. You cannot achieve anything of any significance being a wandering generality. I guess you're going to ask me now, what's a wandering generality? But for you to achieve anything greater than yourself, you have to become a meaningful specific, which means you have to be focused on what you're doing and do it good, so that you will be very difficult to be replaced. That is what the meaning specific is. Be so good at what you do. When Tiger Woods' name is called, are you confused as to who he is? Is he a baseball player, a basketball player, a race car, a jockey, a singer? When you hear Tiger Woods, what comes to mind? Golf comes to mind now. When the Williams sister Serena, or Venus name called, what comes to mind? Michael Jackson, what comes to mind? And so that is what being meaningful specific. I think it was Earl Nightingale that says, Earl Nightingale says, the monies that you will receive in this life will always be in direct ratio for the demand for what you do, your ability to do it well, and the difficulty in replacing you. That is what is called being a meaningful specific. Concentrate and be a person of immense value. Invest in self. That is what Warren Buffett says. That yields the highest results. Invest in self. Go and do your research. We're talking about cryptocurrency. Go and do your research. Go on tag websites. Learn. Become a person of value. Oh, are you going to ask me what that means too? Ha! You're giving me a run for my money today. When someone from Nigeria has to pay, how can it happen? Pay into what? To buy tax? That is, if it is one country that is well organized and has a system that wash, rinse, and turn, it's Nigeria. From the inception in the foundation, the system in Nigeria is par excellence. And so if you're in Nigeria, get in contact with your executive coordinator, or your regional coordinator, or your state coordinator, or your local government coordinator, because Nigeria, we have all the levels down to the grassroots. Even our ambassador, matter of fact, he's the one now that takes over to even credit your account. You can buy you can even deposit cash. Everything is set up for you, my dear brother. So please look for your leaders there. Nigeria and South Africa and Cameroon and Kenya, those are countries that I can sleep at night. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Stock is going uphill. It's not for the lazy-minded. Nigeria in the house. How does stock compete with other coins? I'm not too sure if we're in any competition with any coins, because they don't have our story. They cannot speak to our social programs. And all we need to do is to become meaningful. Meaningful means how many persons do I need to introduce into TAC? I need to introduce at least 10 persons, and each of them do the same with a minimum investment of $10. They can invest $1 million if they want, but at least a minimum of 10 within 20 days. That's all we're asked to do. That is our competition, not any other coin. The task and to become meaningful, that's all. Please, TAC is not to compete with any other coin, but other coins are to compete with TAC. Well, which is true, because if we become meaningful in TAC and stop wonder after everything and eventually wondered after nothing, if we become meaningful in TAC, then it will be the other way around. TAC and all coins. That's what it is. And so when cryptocurrency name is being called, the first 3 coins, TAC should be in there. But it will not happen by itself. You have to become meaningful. Meaningful by go and do your research. From Nigeria, John O. My only question is, if buying the coin will it make it more better for you in the long run than buying it later? You will have to pay more to the purchase when it hits the market. That's all. You buy it now or buy it later. The thing is, it's now at 50 cents. I told you that you could have even bought TAC for 2 cents. It's now at 50 cents. It goes 75 cents by the 15th of September. Mm-hmm. Do you not say no question is foolish? No question is foolish. That's what I'm saying. There's no foolish question because people are asking these questions, but also I have to educate people. I have to educate people that we have to change our mindset. Those are excellent questions. There are no foolish questions, but I have to take you from where you are heading to where you should be. All of us are here to help each other, my good brother. But it seemed as though when I asked how can I cash the coin, I know it's not a foolish question. It is a question that should be asked, but should not be entertained. That's all I'm saying. You should ask the question, but it should not be entertained. How soon you can cash out? But what can we do to appreciate the coin so that it can really change our lives? I do want to know what the process I can use to cash it out when it gets to super value. The process. The process of cashing out coin will be through an app. Just like I cash out Bitcoins today. I can't cash it out in Antigua because Antigua right now does not allow for cashing out of Bitcoin, but it's only take an app. That's all on your phone. Attached to your bank account, voila. Or in some countries like Nigeria, you have vendors. In England, they have Coinbase and they have Wirex. When I want to cash out like Bitcoin, 10,000 worth, 30,000 US worth of Bitcoin, I send it to Nigeria or Nigeria send it to me. That's all, because I can't do it in Antigua because we are not yet ready. We are not yet ready for Mr. Abundance, and which is a good thing, which means you are a pace setter. But Antigua now is making provision for you to hold and trade and cash out Bitcoins here. But now, if you have Bitcoins, you want to cash it out, you have to send it to the United States, to Europe, or to Africa, and or even to the Bahamas, because they now have ATM digital machine now in the Bahamas. You understand what I'm saying? Antigua will soon have those. All right. Excellent explanation of a meaningful specific. All right. So I want to thank everyone. I think we've gone over an hour and 50, an hour, which is 15 minutes. And so every Sunday, please come with your questions. We are here to help you. I think my last session will be next week. Madam McDonald's will take over from me as our national executive for Antigua and is positioned to hit our regional executive for the Caribbean. And so, Mr. Abundance, have the globe at my fingertip, where please look at our website, and we are expanding. My job now is to expand the base so every country has a representative. And so from next week, I'll be rolling out quite a few more leaders across the globe. You see, so trust me, that is why one of the reasons I don't give my numbers out on the radio, because I have to deal with the globe. Because once you install leaders, you have to support them. It's not just appoint leaders as executive and leave them. No, we have to support that structure. And so that is what I'm doing every day. I'm in contact, if not from Nigeria, in Ghana. From Ghana is not in Cameroon, Burundi, or it is Togo, or it is South Africa, it is Lesotho, it is Namibia, it is Kenya. You see, it is England, it is Belgium, it is France. You see, so that is how Mr. Abundance Day, when I wake up in the morning and when I go to bed. And that is why, as leaders, we all have to become meaningful, because when you become meaningful, then you make the work lighter. You see, very important. How do we secure our coins when it becomes valuable? In your wallet. It's in your wallet now, and it will stay in your wallet until you spend it. So there is where it is, in your wallet. Every Sunday at what time? Well, we have 2 sessions. We have the global session from 2 until 3, and the Caribbean session from 5 until 6, basically. All right. So that's what it is. If you're in the Africa, then it is 7 to 7 p.m. And what is 5 p.m.? About what, 10 o'clock your time, I guess. All right, good. All right, 2 p.m. Okay, that's good. Thank you so much for coming. Our next meeting is on Wednesday at 6. That is so correct. If you have any further question, you can also call the WhatsApp. Okay, this is very important. All right. Yes, we actually put another meeting on Wednesday because of the demand of people wanting to know more. So there's another meeting on Wednesday, and so it's Wednesday and 2 on Sundays. All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Madam McDonald. Thank you, Joel, Noel, and Mr. Dwight Bloodman for your participation, Madam Edith Oladelli, for all who have contributed to the executive of Antigua and Barbuda to make TAC go uphill here. Antigua have no excuse in the next couple of years not to produce a millionaire, at least one in every family. We have no excuse to lag behind. A 12-year-old did it. The youngest millionaire now in the world. At the age of 12, I said, he invested. And this is the result. I am saying the government is now putting in laws to allow you to become millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires in this industry. What you become tomorrow is the decision you make today. If you put in $1, don't expect much in the future. So you become what you now invest in. And so I want to thank all of you once again. This is Mr. Abundance saying, as I end the last program, life is a fight for territory. If you fail to fight for what you want, what you do not want will take over. Ask yourself, what am I fighting for? You might be fighting for the ability to can travel the world. You may be fighting for your dream home, your dream car. You may be fighting for that business. You may be fighting with the ability to give back to your community, to develop your community. You may be fighting to be able to be the lender in your family instead of the borrower. I don't know what territory you're fighting. But if we fail to fight for what we want, what we do not want will take over. What it is that you do not want. You do not want that when your child is sick, you cannot take him or her to the specialist or to give the care that they needed. You do not want to have your children reach to university age, but because you don't have any money, you cannot send them. You do not want to be begging your bread as a beggar. That I know you do not want. But may I say to all of us, if we fail to fight for our territory and what we want, expect what we do not want to take over. We don't want our children to be prostituting themselves because they can't find job. But what we do not want, if we fail to fight for what we want, will take over. And so we have to decide, do we do it in unity or do we all perish together as fools, according to Dr. Martin Luther? Good evening. This is Mr. Abundance. It's now 6:23.